This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Blessings and good fortune, everyone. Here we are on another Thursday. I've been off for 2 weeks. I know, but there's high school football going on, and now I have a stake in there. My son plays, so I'm going to beg off that excuse right there. However, God bless you. God bless your families, and I hope all is well with you, because we have a lot to talk about, and I would hate to think, that we get a little, energetic and heart palpitations, something like that. Please, no. We're going to go on the facts, nothing but the facts, as ugly as they are, because some are really ugly. I want to talk about something right now that we have some good opportunity right now, which is to show another generation what we value and how we value things and how we view news. Okay. So as you well know, Joe is an instructor at UTRGV. He instructs video, he instructs audio, the editing process, directing, all that good stuff, right? Audiovisual magic, if you will, okay? And two of his students, interns, the technical term interns, okay, are here with us today. So we have Diana and we have Juan. In addition to Joseph in the back with his ninja skills, he's very quiet today, okay? So he can sneak up behind you and stuff and you don't even know. But here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going through this, line by line, and they're completely new to my style of broadcasting, okay? So I don't know where they're at, politically speaking or opinion-wise, but I've invited them to participate at any point. Yeah, I got an idea. I have a question. Okay, I want all participation that we can get here tonight. So I'm pulling us up here on the screen here, and as you can see, okay, I have my shirt on again, and I hope I don't have to wear it again, because I've made a decision that every assassination attempt made on our president's life, I'm going to wear this shirt because he's not surrendering, and why should I? Now, the way it looks is with the deep state and all those, Republicans and Democrats after him, this thing might get a little smelly, but I guess I'll have to wash it. I don't know. But what we can say is that it's happening too much. And we'll get into that. We got a lot in store for you today. Okay. Let's see if we got anybody up on the comments section there. I don't see anybody yet. I'm pushing left. Don't see it. Nothing. Now, we're going to do the usual barometer of the economy here, okay? We haven't been here for a while, and we got some, new people watching and participating. So I'm going to explain that when I give these prices, okay, these are prices. They're not value, okay? Value is not able to be estimated by the U.S. dollar anymore, because the U.S. dollar is in a mess. It's for my Spanish-speaking friends, basura. Okay, that's what it is. Now, gold is up big time, ladies and gents, big time. So gold right now, if you want an ounce of gold, and you won't get it for this price, but it's listed at, just prior to the show, $2,598, $2,600 if we round, right? For an ounce of gold. You decide what you want. You want that ounce of gold, or do you want 2,598 pieces of paper? I know what I want. So silver, similar, $31.02. So 31 bucks, 31 of those pieces of paper, okay, for an ounce of silver. When they decided, okay, that they were going to peg the dollar way back in the 30s to an ounce of gold, we had 34, I believe it was, $34 for an ounce of gold. We have right now $31 for an ounce of silver. That should tell you all you need to know about the value of the US dollar. Regardless of price of dollars against precious metals or other things of value, such as real estate and my favorite, Bitcoin, okay? These are the types of things that we can look at alongside the US dollar to tell us, hey, Does this have any value? Is this priced right? I'll tell you, these are not priced right. Because if things were let loose, literally depegged from the corruption that is the derivatives market in gold, silver, and all that manipulation, it would be sky high. You wouldn't be able to buy. People like you and me wouldn't be able to buy an ounce of gold, but we still can. Even better, we can buy an ounce of silver. If you have the money, real estate is awesome. It's outside of the Federal Reserve System. That's a win right there. And then, of course, again, my favorite, Bitcoin. Buy yourself some Bitcoin. You don't have to have a whole Bitcoin, which, by the way, is worth $63,154 as of earlier today. Okay, guys? You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. There's no way. I'm not even close to a whole Bitcoin. And I've been buying it little by little. Not even close. But you can buy some of it. Okay? You can buy some Bitcoin. Now, we're going to go into some Bitcoin news. This is from Bitcoin. What do we got?
Susan wants to know.
Oh, Sue. Hey, Sue. Good to see you. Dad. Hi, Dad. I know I'm a little gray here, but I had a mini vacation for my birthday. And believe it or not, I'm getting older. Yeah. So I'll shave probably next week. But right now, I got this scruff. Kind of like it, you know. But thank you for noticing, Sue. So.
Matthew says P. Diddy's watching.
Matthew says P. Diddy. Oh, we're going to get into that, Matt. Oh, we are going to get into P. Diddy and all of his nastiness. Yes. That is a nasty. Well, I don't want to get off track. Stick around, Matt. I'll take your suggestions on how we attack this incident, if you will, or a string of incidents with this guy. Okay, so on Bitcoin.com, we have Bitcoin rockets to 63.8 thousand, 6.36 billion in Bitcoin pulled from exchanges in 30 days. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, the first rule in Bitcoin, the first rule in crypto, do not leave your crypto on the exchange, because when they go belly up, your money's gone. It's gone. Or when the corrupt governments around the world, any one of them, including the United States corruption, any one of those decides, you know what, we're going to make a regulation. We're going to say you can't have Bitcoin. Now, if you have it in your own wallet, on your phone, and even better, a hard wallet, a cold wallet, they call it hard wallet, cold wallet, whatever you want to call it, and I can explain these things to you, send me an email at bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, okay? So I can talk to you about this. I can help you with this. Send me an email, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, and I can explain this. But you need to get, if you still have some on the exchange, CoinDesk, we can't even use a bunch of them. My favorite was KuCoin. We can't use that one anymore. We can't use many of them. But if you're using an exchange and you have a wallet on the exchange, just know that the wallet is not in your name and you don't have the keys for that wallet. So the crypto is not yours. In fact, it might not even be real crypto. How do I know? Thankfully, not my experience, but I've read the experiences of many. So what they do is it's kind of like a placeholder that they put a fake. Okay, just like if you order an ounce of gold and they send you a piece of paper saying, hey, we're holding your ounce of gold. Here's the certificate. Wow, it's got a little seal on the bottom, everything. That's so cool, man. How do you know that they didn't give out 100 pieces of these sealed pieces of paper for 1 ounce of gold? How do you know? You don't know. It's the same with crypto. Same with your dollars. You're looking at blips on the screen, on your phone, in your computer. How do you know if you went down there and let's just say you're fortunate enough to have $10,000 in the bank, are they going to give you your $10,000? Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. They're going to act like it's their money. Why? Because they have claimed it as their money. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me, okay? Don't believe me. You know what I forgot? I forgot to tell you that we're on KCYP The City 97.7 FM here in McAllen, Texas, coming out of the McAllen Creative Incubator. We're also out on Facebook. We're out on TuneIn Radio. And we're going out on Radio Garden. Those are apps, those last two. Also YouTube, the Bitcoin Otter Show, and 97.7. Just figured I'd throw that in there. Now, on Thursday, this is from Bitcoin.com again. On Thursday, Bitcoin soared to a peak at 63.8, marking 7.8% increase against the US dollar over the past month. Ladies and gentlemen, 7.8% increase against the US dollar. That's awesome. During this same period, approximately 6.36 billion worth of Bitcoin was pulled from crypto exchanges. See, there's so many people out there that are finally getting the memo. Take it off the exchange. Okay? More than 100,000 Bitcoin were removed from digital currency trading platforms in 30 days. 100,000 Bitcoin. Wow. That's a lot. Crypto News says Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson to meet with Argentina president. Oh, just so you know, guys, Juan is from Argentina. Es su gente. Okay. So this may be of note to you. If you want to learn a little bit about Cardano, I can talk to you afterwards.
For sure. I'm always ready to learn about economy, especially as someone that is part of the Latino community. Like, why?
We got a question here.
Why we don't get an economist such as Mr. Trump the opportunity of govern us to be our president again? Come on, guys. Let's be sincere.
We're hoping.
We all get out from our countries, from a different ones, looking for an opportunity. An opportunity that our countries never give it to us, especially we're here on this country, such as in Argentina say, for guita. What guita means? Money. That money that can make us powerful and better, so we can take a look or support our families the best way we can do it. But first, what do we have to do? Support our own. Support our economy. Support someone such as Mr. Trump that is so sincere with us. Personally, if there is something that I can handle, is lies. Someone that do lies. And this government with his lies and their abuse to us, to our community, really take away plenty of opportunities, especially to young people. That's the only thing that we want, come on, is to learn. That's why we're preparing. That's why.
Okay. Thank you. So what I can help you with, like I said, Cardano founder, this guy, Cardano is a blockchain, and it is an alternative currency to the US dollar, or what do they call the currency in Argentina?
The president can be.
Okay. So here's where we're going. So I personally really enjoy listening to Javier Milei. Okay, he is the president of Argentina. The man he's a patriot. And this is what we need. Internationally, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what country you're from, but be a patriot of your country. Stick to the values for which it stands, okay? Not all countries are equal. Not all cultures are equal. And we're going to go into that a little bit later, too, with the cats and dogs. You know where I'm going on that one. So what we really need are people to stand up for the people in each country. Javier Milei is a winner, okay? Nayib Bukele in El Salvador, that's a winner right there. And I'll argue anybody playfully. I'll argue you non-violently. I will argue with you about Vladimir Putin. I really will. Because that guy saved Russia from the bankers that are raping us every single day. Again, you'll have a difference with me, right? Russia. But the fact of the matter is, he is a patriot. He loves his country. We need more men like that and more women like that. And we've got a bunch of them here in the United States. I know that because I talk to them every day. So, what do we got here? Anybody else? I'm not able to see anybody in there. What do we got? Diana, what do you got?
What about Fidel Castro?
What about Fidel Castro? I think Fidel Castro is a communist, okay? Now, I haven't met and had a beer, a coffee with a communist. But what I have seen are their policies. And when I judge communism on their policies, I see that it hurts humans. I see that with its ideals, it strives, ostensibly, they say that they want freedom in an equal measure. But what it always ends up to be is one or two guys at the top telling everybody else how to live, and everybody else has nothing. Seemingly, it's never worked. Yet, everybody says, we'll try it here. It'll work this time because we're going to do it right. But it never seems to come out right. And I don't know why. It just doesn't seem to come out right. What do you think about Fidel Castro?
Well, there are many different opinions about him, but there was some people who stayed in Cuba and actually despised people who wanted to leave Cuba because they didn't like the whole dictatorship.
So if you can't hear her, she's a little soft-spoken. That Diana said that some people wanted to leave. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some people wanted to leave Cuba, but because of a dictatorship, right? Okay. Was that prior? Are you saying that's prior to Fidel with it was Batista, no?
No.
Okay, so Fidel, yeah. So they were both disliked. Okay. I think personally, my opinion is it's part of a struggle. It's part of a power struggle. Just like the United States, projects power across the world, someone benefits greatly from having Castro and who's in there now? It's
Raúl now.
Okay. So very close to the way
it's Fidel's brother, Raúl. They're the same thing.
Same thing, right? So the way that is governed is it's like a balancing act. So you have what they feed us, what politicians feed us is a left and a right. A left and a right. Really, we're all people. And we all really want to be free. Average people. The predators that usually they gather in places like Washington, D.C., those are the people that want to subjugate us. They want us to work for them. So we as people in every country have to fight against that. And that's why they hate guys like Milei. They hate guys like Bukele. They hate guys like Trump, trying to kill Trump, right? They hate them because they stand for the nation and not the system. It's the system that wants to kill Donald Trump. Republicans, Democrats, okay? The true system that divides us only divides us. It doesn't divide itself because it meets. It's the same. It's two wings of one bird. Okay. So
on the same hand, I mean, on the communist phenomenon. What about the Venezuelan actions of the President Chavez that by the elections, even though he didn't won, he's gonna be the president of them again.
I've got this, Juan. I have an article. Remind me if I don't get to it. I'm going to try and get to it, but I have an article that talks about that. Okay? Okay. So that was our crypto news. And here's another thing if you guys are into XRP. Ripple. Ripple transfers 100 million XRP amid regulatory scrutiny. Okay? So as usual, since 2020, the criminals in Washington, D.C., the criminals at the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, those criminals have been all over Ripple Labs. Why? Well, because they want power too, and they want to be able to regulate what is called money. So, again, there's another opportunity for people who want to invest in XRP to see prior to any ultimate ruling, right? We've had how many rulings on XRP? None of them has been the ultimate ruling, but it's going up. Right? Not as much, not that much. So it's still like 50 some cents, 58 cents, I think it was last. So if you want to get into Ripple, now might be the time. So this is from X. This is at Amuse. It says, California Democrats just passed a law making free speech illegal when it relates to politics within 60 days of an election. AB 2655 prohibits Americans from distributing parody or satire related to a political candidate within 60 days of an election. Ladies and gentlemen, commies gonna commie. And California is straight on they're commie. So what they're telling you is that within 60 days of an election, your First Amendment rights are out the window. They're gone, jettisoned. You don't have them. Not if you want to use satire or parody. Now, let me ask you something, especially those of you who watch TV. And if you watch 10 minutes of TV, you're watching too much TV. That said, hey, Joe, I'm not getting the things, the people on are not coming up. Do you have anybody popping up?
Just Matt mentioned that he agrees Putin is a patriot.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Yeah, I mean, we're on the same page there. So in California, parody or satire is not, you can't put out memes, apparently, videos, whatever. But here's the thing. If people watch TV, what are you watching? Usually you're watching either parody or satire. It's on TV. And who runs TV? We all know who runs TV. The Uniparty. They run TV. They run news, mainstream media. So the fact of the matter is, you're going to see what they want you to see. You can't join in the conversation because California is taking your First Amendment rights. That, ladies and gentlemen, is communism. Amongst other things, I know. But that's communism. This is from, again, on X, Trump War Room. So the Teamsters Union, this is interesting, guys. Teamsters president, Sean O'Brien, reacts to AOC attacking Teamsters for refusing to endorse Kamala. Kamala, Kammy the Clown. Did I pronounce that right? I don't know. So here's the thing. The Teamsters said they were going to endorse someone, but they're not. Apparently, they're saying they're not going to endorse. Well, AOC is angry because, of course, Kamala is not being endorsed. Boo-hoo, right? So the Teamsters in her district voted overwhelmingly to support President Trump. So she may want to focus on her job instead of mine, says the Teamsters president. Good on him. This is from Vigilant Fox on X. Caught. Ex-New York City COVID czar. Oh, we love these people, right? COVID czars. What you can and cannot do in a pandemic. Admits to hosting secret drug-fueled sex parties during lockdown. Wow. The latest Mug Club undercover report from Louder with Crowder features New York City's former COVID czar, Dr. Jay Varma. Look that name up, guys. Jay Varma, V-A-R-M-A, admitting to locking down citizens and forcing them to get shots while secretly attending drug-fueled orgies and raves. Isn't that a wonderful guy? Those are the kind of people that thrive under communism. They love it. This is from Litecoin Lisa. She says, breaking news, European Parliament finally approves the recognition of Edmundo Gonzalez as the legitimate and elected president of Venezuela. So whatever that means, the European Parliament finally approves the recognition. What do they have to do, right? It's a completely different, the European Parliament. Nobody elected the people in the European Parliament. Nobody elected anyone in the Eurozone. No one elected that government. They were installed, just like the resident here in our country, just like that clown in Ukraine after the 2014 overthrow by three-letter agencies, right? It was a color revolution. They've done so many now. They're very good at it. 3 letters from here, Mossad from there, Five Eyes. Anyone? Five Eyes? Anyone? Bueller? They overthrew him in 2014. What's the result? An entire generation of young Ukrainian men dead. Because they love war, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? The good news is there's a guy who wants peace. There's a guy who hoisted, in Italian, his goulions in a wheelbarrow. And he walked over the DMZ to North Korea and shook Kim Jong-un's hand. Oh, Rocket Boy, you got some rockets? Put them away. Okay, Mr. Trump. Peace. But you see, the establishment, the system, the cabal, the criminal syndicate, they hate peace. So they hate Trump. And you get assassination attempts. And you get Russia. And you get indictments. And you get false and fake judges. You get these things when you get hatred for patriots. Okay? In every country that has a patriot standing up, you have a small minority, but very vocal because they own the system, right? Against the patriots of that nation. This is from Jim O'Rourke. Thank you, Jim. This is out of Forbes. BlackRock. You want to talk about the establishment. You want to talk about Illuminati and the cabal and all those things. There's BlackRock right in the middle of it. BlackRock reveals it's quietly preparing for a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis with Bitcoin. You think? Do you think, BlackRock? Do you think Bitcoin's a good idea? Oh, gee, now I'll get into it. Thanks for your wisdom, schmucks. BlackRock. Here's a little tidbit for you. What do the two most recent attempted assassins of Donald Trump have in common? Okay? The guy's first one was Crooks, so they say. That's what they're feeding us. His name was Crooks. This last one was Ruth, whatever his name is. What do these two would-be assassins have in common? You won't believe this. You really won't. Don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself. I'll tell you what they have in common. They were both in a BlackRock commercial. Yeah. I fool you not. I fool with you not. Yeah, look it up. Put me to the test, please, because I'll pass this. Bitcoin is suddenly, this is from BlackRock again, from Forbes magazine. These are the usual suspects, I know. Bitcoin is suddenly surged higher following the Federal Reserve's first post-pandemic interest rate cut that's predicted to send the Bitcoin price skyrocketing, they say. Now, as fears swirl, the U.S. dollar is on the verge of a total collapse. I won't even read the rest. I'll translate, though. More and more people are being honest because it's past time. Everybody with any sense can see. The U.S. dollar's in the crapper, ladies and gentlemen. Real estate, gold, silver, Bitcoin. Save yourself. Save your family. You'll be glad you did it. I'm not a financial advisor, okay? I'm not, and I won't give you advice financially. I'm just telling you what many of us have done to help protect our families. Because one of these days, we believe, people like me, believe that we're going to go to the bank. And we're either not going to be able to get any money out of it, or they're not even going to be there. We're going to look on the computer. There's nothing there. What do we have? I'll tell you what you have. Basically, what you have in the sewer is the same thing you have in your bank account. It's just me. This is me. Don't believe me. Whatever. Okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying things are getting so serious, even BlackRock is being semi-honest. That's pretty serious. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Here we go. Biden regime investigates Robert Kennedy Jr. for 20-year-old whale incident after he endorses Donald Trump for president. So now they're after, of course, Kennedy. Now they didn't give him, remember, they burnied him. Basically, they burnied him. And they didn't give him Secret Service. Not that, the Secret Service is going to do anything for him. Because, what did they do for Trump, right? But he was denied Secret Service protection at least 3 times. Judicial Watch later released evidence through FOIA requests that DHS Secretary Mayorkas personally declined to provide Robert Kennedy Jr. with Secret Service protection. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a quick lesson, a rundown, if you will, of the deep state. Now, the deep state knows that what they really need are some really crooked people that they can promote into positions of power. Then, below them, they stack as a pyramid. You get it? Pyramid? Yeah, you get it? As the pyramid structure, you have the person that you've already turned. You got blackmail, you got, Epstein Island, or you got Diddy. I'm going there, guys. I'm going to Diddy. I'll be there in a minute. But you got Epstein Islands, you got Diddy's pad, you got his, his crib, whatever he does to people there. So you've got all those things that can blackmail a person. You put that person in power, you have leverage as the cabal, as the Illuminati, as the, the deep state, whatever you want to call it. International Criminal Syndicate, perhaps, whatever. Khazarian Mafia, I like that one. Those people, those parasites, what I won't call them is elite. They are parasites. So those parasites will work and work and work on the people via these points of false authority. These points of power. See, there's a difference between power and authority. Now, they'll with the criminal Bush family, the Bush family, the crime family of Bush, okay, instituted and was instrumental in allowing the criminals to write the legislation for the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, and the Patriot Act. These things, these unconstitutional, okay, these unconstitutional entities, okay, and this legislature, okay, that passed it are completely anti-American. So what you can do with things like that is you can place a man like Mayorkas, a worm like Mayorkas, okay, in that position, and he will be dictated to and dictate down. So we all want to blame, and maybe they do. The Secret Service has their share of blame, but I'll bet you that there are boots on the ground that are doing their best. I know there are, okay? Boots on the ground from Secret Service that are doing their best protecting our President Trump, okay? However, from the top down is where the orders come. And you might say, following orders is not an excuse. Well, yeah, I mean, I see where you're going with that. Following orders is not an excuse. But at the same time, if you've got somebody that's position is to be on the side of the president, he's not a drone operator. So, how can he tell somebody, put up a drone, man, find that guy in the bushes. Find that guy that's been waiting there 12 hours. That last assassin guy, right? Would-be assassin was in the bushes where the media goes to take pictures of Trump. He was there for 12 hours, pinging his phone, investigation is shown that he was there for 12 hours. Another tidbit about this latest assassination attempt was that the schedule, Donald Trump's schedule, was not reflecting the golf outing. So how did this mook find out that Trump was going to be there, and he was so confident that he was going to be there, he was waiting in the bushes 12 hours? You know how. I know how. There was a leak, right? So it's payback time for Robert Kennedy Jr. So they're for him, right? So what does he do? He endorses Trump. What do? They pay him back with an investigation. So there's an investigation against RFK Jr. Because Trump. Zero hedge. Kennedy, Gabbard, and Weinstein. Not the Weinstein you're thinking of. Okay? Not that guy. Not the one in jail. Not that one. Okay? This is a biologist, apparently. His name's Brett Weinstein. Next Sunday, September 29, biologist Brett Weinstein, along with RFK Jr., Russell Brand, Tulsi Gabbard, will host a rally in the belly of the beast, Washington, D.C., to break our addiction to war. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, they will not allow the system, the cabal, the deep state, will not allow Donald Trump to be president. Why? Because Donald Trump loves the country, and they hate it. They have many plans to keep him out of office. None of them are going to work. Please. None of them are going to work. But I just want to prep you. I want to show you, a little inside look at what they're going to do. They're going to bring you to war. They're going to want to draft your kids. And I say kids because these sick freaks, they're going to draft your daughters. Yeah. Because, who's to say what's a man or a woman nowadays? They don't care. They'll kill both. Doesn't matter. They really don't care. Because they don't care about you. All they care about is their God. And we all know who that is. So, these representatives will advocate for other key tenets like banning CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, in the hope that, Trump's going to be the next administration. The event is open to the public. So I'm going to branch off real quick, and I'm going to go to the Diddy subject. What are we working at? Wow, we're a little bit past half the time, and I'm going to tell you that we're going out on 97.7 FM here out of McAllen, Texas. KCYP, the city. We are live, and if you're in trumpets and stuff, it's because there's trumpets out there. I'm not making it up. So we're here in the McAllen Creative Incubator. It's the old McAllen Library. It's great here. There's 3 floors. We have artists. We have sculptors. We have painters. We have musicians, right? And we got the one and only Joe Martinez, who has his studio here, okay? And if you just joined us, we have 2 of his students. He teaches college, okay? They call him professor, okay? He teaches a class in audio, visual, direction, all this good stuff. And he's got a couple students with us today, okay? Diana and Juan. And they're here with us today. And, man, we're having a good time. We got good participation. Let me ask you, is there anything I've said so far that you have a question about and you want to challenge me on it? Please do so, because I do appreciate feedback and being challenged, because if I don't know how to defend what it is I say, well, then maybe I shouldn't say it. Right? Anything? What you got, Diana?
What's your opinion on Donald Trump's past?
What's my opinion on Donald Trump's past? Good question. Donald Trump is a human. Donald Trump is not perfect. Okay? Donald Trump probably did some questionable things. I mean, we all have, to one degree or another. Perhaps a rich person can do things with more leverage and hurt more people with doing bad things than someone, like us, who have a limited sphere. Perhaps we don't know. I have looked at the past of Donald Trump. I have watched interviews of different people that have different relationships with Donald Trump. Business relationships, client relationships, employee relationships, and just someone who he may or may not have advocated for. So when I look at these interviews, that if you watch TV, you'll never see this stuff. You'll never see someone on television advocate from real life experience for Donald Trump. And if you have, good on you, because I have not found, I don't watch TV, but I would imagine that on YouTube there'd be some sort of video that would come out on TV if it were, if it existed. But if you do watch some of these YouTube videos, you see these people that have been down and out in their life, that Donald Trump has come and given them a job. See, people want to teach you to hate rich people, okay? But when have you or I gotten a job from a poor person? Right? We don't get jobs from poor people. We get jobs from rich people, or we create the job ourselves, which is what I want to teach my kids, right? There's a book out there called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, I didn't have either. I had a working dad. He worked in an auto factory. Dad, if you're watching, I'm so proud of you. 30 years in the Chevy factory. So he taught me to get a good job and raise a family with the good job that I got. Okay? That's a working class dad. That's admirable. That's honorable. There are other fathers out there that will teach their kids how to make money and then make their money make money for them. I want to be that dad because I'm getting older and I want to learn how to make money with my money. And that's what I'm doing with Bitcoin and other cryptos. So the opportunity exists. It's like, and this is not my analogy, but it's like when the pilgrims, the settlers from Europe, wanted freedom, mostly religious freedom, but they wanted freedom. And they sailed from the old world in Europe to the new world here in America. When they landed, okay, yes, there were Indians here. They weren't really Indians. They were natives. They were the people that settled here. Now, I don't know if that happened right after the flood. I don't know if thousands of years. I don't know. But they were living here. Okay? And some of the people from Europe got along with them. Some of them didn't. Some of the Europeans killed the Indians, natives, Native Americans. Some of the Native Americans killed the Europeans. It's just the way the world works. We're humans. There's no such thing as race. That's another divide. Don't buy into it. We're humans. We have one race, the human one, right? Now, if you want to go, oh, but they're, conquering this and conquering that. You don't think Native Americans conquered each other? You don't think they stole from each other? You don't think they fought each other? If so, please examine what you've learned and how you've learned it. Because it needs examination. It needs to be put through the crucible of logic, critical thinking. Address those things in such a way that perhaps you were not taught. If you have degrees, you have to, please, look back and see where it is they taught you what to think instead of how to think. So, I digress. However, the fact of the matter is, we can be people that have our money make money for us, and I believe that's who Donald Trump became. Yes, he started out great because his dad was rich, right? But Donald Trump became someone who gave opportunities to many other people. Now, people might accuse me of saying, well, hey, Otter, you're whitewashing a lot of the sins he had. Well, you know what? I don't know. Does he sin? Of course. He's a human. But on the whole, when I look at the benefits that we Americans have, having a patriot like Donald Trump, someone who loves the country, as opposed to someone who loves the system, like a Bush. If I had a spittoon, I need a spittoon. Bush. Right? Speaking of these people, who was Bush's, anybody know? I know, but I just want to ask for the sake of asking. Who was Bush's vice president? I'll cheat. Dick Cheney. You know who just recently endorsed Kamala Harris? Dick Cheney. Yeah. And they're loving him. Oh, they're loving him. They're loving Dick Cheney. They do love some of that. They do. And you know what? That just screams hypocrisy. But it goes forward again and back to what I told you. One bird, two wings. One bird of fecal matter that has two wings. And all that bird of fecal matter does is poop on you and me. If we believe in one wing or the other wing is going to save us, we're lost already. Because all it's going to do is poop on us. That's all it's going to do. Now, we're going to go to Diddy, Matt. Hope you're still there. Hope you're still there, Matt. We're going to go to Diddy. So, if you have or have not seen any of these videos, look them up. X is right now the best way to look at these things, my humble opinion. So, that's why they hate X so much. That's why X is being banned in Brazil. Also, don't forget, maybe I didn't get to this. I've been gone a couple weeks. The CEO of Telegram was arrested in France. The frogs arrested the CEO of Telegram. So, this Diddy guy, Sean Combs, was drugging guys. I mean, I've seen videos where these people who were at their party, these parties, this guy, he was a bodyguard for Diddy, didn't drink. So, apparently at this party of Diddy's, he or someone of his party spiked the champagne. And people were passed out all over the living room. This bodyguard said, I don't drink. He didn't get hit. He didn't pass out, but he pretended to be passed out. He had his phone near him. Turns on the phone. Diddy takes a passed out person into the room, and you can imagine the sounds coming out of that room. This guy recorded them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of many drips. There will be a drip, a drip, a drip, a drip, A drip, 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 flood. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who watch TV are in for a very rude awakening. Everything you watch is a lie. Everything. I don't pretend to know all the truth, but I know truth from lies. And the people that inhabit Washington, D.C., the people that inhabit Hollywood, California, the people that run the music industry are evil as they come. And the things that you are going to see that they're involved in, and yes, it involves children, the things you are going to see are going to be literally, for you, unbelievable. So again, I ask you, please, put it through the crucible of critical thinking and logic. Let your mind, your heart, be the arbiter of truth for you, and not the television or a newspaper or a radio show or me. I'm not here to be believed all the time. I tell you the truth from my perspective. I do. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, if something interests you, hit me up at bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, and I can send you things that will bolster the case I'm trying to make here in a very limited time. Okay? I don't have a lot of time, but I have time. What's Matt saying? I'm here? Oh, good. So I have time. God has given me time. And I thank the Lord, the good Lord above, that he gives me time and puts it in my heart. This is a passion for me. I wouldn't be doing this otherwise. Teaching people things that they might not otherwise know. And I'm not here to say you got to believe me. And I'll never use the politician's words, trust me. No, I'm fallible too. But I tell you one thing, if you find that I'm wrong on something, I will admit it. Right? So here's another thing. U.S. map shows potential areas of migrant great job replacement. Now, if you know me, and pretty much every single Facebook friend I have knows me. Okay, I've never mentioned what I do for a living, and I won't. However, I can tell you that I am intimately related to migrants. Legal migrants. I know people in my family, the closest of family. And I stood in lines with her. We paid a lot of money. We did it right. And now that beautiful and wonderful wife of mine is a U.S. citizen. I'm so proud of her. She did it right. She earned it. However, there are those that our parasite class is now skipping even the border. They're flying them in, giving them debit cards. Thousands and thousands of your tax dollars on those debit cards. And ugly things are happening all around the country. Let me read this to you. This is, I think, Zero Hedge. Yeah, Zero Hedge. U.S. map shows potential areas of migrant great job replacement. Bloomberg has unveiled one of the most detailed maps yet, showing where the 2023 migrant invasion has spread across the U.S., broken down on a county-by-county basis. The map, built on immigration court case data, highlights clusters of new migrant populations that primarily emerged across the eastern half of the nation. There's coordination here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to that. The question becomes, if the federal government and a shadowy network of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, worked in unison to precision dump migrants in small towns and cities to replace native blue-collar workers. Remember that job you had? You don't have anymore. In the battleground states that will decide this November's election, about 72% of migrants in 2023 went to Biden counties. 72% of migrants in 2023 went to Biden counties, meaning that they voted for Joe Biden, supposedly, in the last election. While less than a third went to Trump counties, the Bloomberg analysis found. Counties that voted for Biden 4 years ago are home to roughly 60% of the overall U.S. population, Bloomberg said. What Bloomberg didn't tell you is why. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you why. Because every one of those migrants, let's just call it what it is, illegal immigration. Every one of those illegal immigrants, okay? Not that they're illegal. A human being is not illegal. And I know there's probably someone out there jumping up and down or screaming, a human being is not illegal. Yeah, you're right. But their presence in our country is illegal. You got to, parse this out. The presence of a person who is not a citizen of the United States and doesn't have the express permission from the U.S. government to be here is an illegal presence. They are aliens present in the United States, illegal. Get it? Okay. Laws are on the books. I guarantee it. So the reason why they're sending them to these counties is because those names represent a ballot. I'm not going to say a vote because votes are real. An American citizen registers to vote. An illegal alien will generate a ballot somewhere in China that will be shipped over here to be filled out by a communist sympathizer and placed in a mailbox or a ballot box. Those are ballots, and they come in the thousands at 4 a.m. after the polls have been closed. How do we know this? There's video. There's video. Okay? And here's another thing I want to just before we go, I want to say something. There's this new mantra on I don't know if it's on the left, the right, whatever, but they say there's no evidence. There's no evidence. You know what is the no evidence thing? I'll tell you what it is. It's the new nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. They want to wave you off with this canard that says there is no evidence. There absolutely is evidence. Okay? Haitians are eating dogs and cats. That's their culture. In Haiti, voodoo is prevalent. In voodoo, you do sacrifice. You don't kill yourself because then you won't do voodoo anymore. So you kill an animal. And then, according to voodoo people, they eat the animal. It's part of the sacrifice. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm a Christian. I'm not voodoo. I don't kill my cat. Haven't done it yet. And I won't. So, there's no evidence, they say. There's no evidence. There's videos out there with people cooking them. There's people in communities that have had their horses killed, slaughtered. It's out there. If you say there's no evidence, it's because you're watching TV. You've got to stop watching TV. It'll numb your mind. And if you do, and if you're one of those intellectuals, okay, the subset of society that is most vulnerable to propaganda is always, in any society, the intellectual class. Some other day I'll go off on that. But the fact of the matter is, I will use an example if you're a true intellectual that you will understand. Plato's cave. The allegory is that if someone's born and raised in a cave, and someone controlling the inhabitants of that cave has a fire, and they project shadows onto the wall of the cave, the people that are in the cave and they've grown up in the cave and that's all they know is the cave will look at those shadows and think those shadows are real. For purposes of our argument, consider the wall of the cave your television. Why do you think they call it programming? Why are they television programs? Ask yourself that. Because the person on the other side of the TV, you, is being programmed to think certain ways, to act certain ways, to use certain language, to dress. If they can program you how to buy, ooh, man, that's money for them. Don't think they're not trying. Of course they are. So think about things before you say there's no evidence. Look elsewhere besides TV. That's all I'm asking. I think we've done enough here. Any last words from our interns here on the floor? Not sitting on the floor, but you know what I mean. Anything, Juan?
I completely agree with everything you have been saying.
Whoa, no challenges?
No children. Actually, I'm saying like you really, thanks to your patience and the way you are, that I'm practicing like that, and you really turn on that little flame that was here. Like you helped me.
Oh, you do me too much honor, Juan.
My own, yes.
Muchas gracias. Algún día vamos a hacer una programa. Vamos a hacer un show.
Yes, I really wish.
En los dos, inglés, español, para que puedas decir algo. Yo sé que andas muy bien en inglés, muy bien.
Thank you.
But we can do both. We can do both.
Sure.
Okay. And Juan was talking earlier when he first came in about how, well, not when he first came in, but as we were talking about how he would like to do a show of his own. And that's awesome that I've in some way, in any way, inspired you. Thank God. It's not me, brother. God gave me whatever I have, a voice, whatever I can think of, whatever. And it's a gift. Okay. It's a gift. I'm certainly not the best. I'm not the greatest, but I do what I can with what I have. Okay. And I'm glad that you're here today. Diana, any last words for us?
Is this like a politics show?
It's both a politics show. It's an economic show. It's a cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin show. The impetus for me starting this was I don't know if it's a struggle, my search for an alternative for what I see coming to me and my family. I see me and my family being challenged financially by a crash in the system that has been designed to fail the little people. Because throughout history, when you have the boom and the bust, the depressions, things like that, the little people like us lose everything we have. They come take our houses, they take our cars. And I think that if we hold something that it's really valuable, Bitcoin, land, gold, silver, we can retain our home, retain our vehicle, and maybe even more. Okay? So, what else?
This is actually really funny. I had a friend who also thought the same thing.
Uh-huh.
He was like, there was a bunch of, like, he's like, there's a war coming. And
There's a war.
I would disagree, like, not thinking that way.
Okay.
Know. And he would start, he had been collecting silver and gold. And, like,
Okay.
he's like, one day this could be, like, worth everything. Cause
How long ago was that, Dan? And if, I don't know, can we hear her on the mic? Can you out there hear Diana? She's talking about a friend of hers that had spoken very similar, in a very similar manner. Well, we got another mic over here.
We just have to plug it in.
So, or we have to plug it in?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say, I'll say it. I'll summarize what you said. And if you don't feel like I'm representing your words enough, let me know. So basically, she says she has a friend who has been stacking gold and silver after this person, this guy or girl, has recognized, like I have, that we're in a war. Well, you said that your friend said that a war is coming.
yeah.
I believe we're already in that war. It's not a conventional war, meaning bullets and bodies in this country. It sure is in Ukraine, right? And in Palestine. But the war we're in is an informational war.
It's like a civil war.
Pretty much. And they want to spark one. They want to get us fighting each other. You know why? Because if we're fighting each other, we're not pointing the finger at the blame, at the people who are to blame. That's their best play, is to get us fighting each other. So we don't talk. We don't share ideas. We don't learn to know each other. Every one of us has, something to contribute to our country, to our betterment, to our neighborhoods, to our city, McAllen, right here, right? Our community. We all have the opportunity, but we have to give each other time. We got to learn to know each other. Those people that are in control, they don't want us to get that time. That's why we have jobs. That's why our wives work. Our girlfriends work. Everybody has to work because they don't want us to have time. The last thing they want us to have is time to reflect about our conditions. Because once we do, we might come together we might rally around each other. We might get to know each other. And instead of fighting each other, we might say, who's really holding us down? You're not holding me down. I'm not holding you down. Who's really holding us down? I think we found a winner. And then, because there's so few of them, they're going to be scared. That's what these people fear most, is that the regular people get together and get rid of them.
Isn't it like a message in a lot of like TV shows?
It can be. I think it is. What TV show are you referring to? Because I don't watch TV.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, it's a formula, right? Here's a movie. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of old, like me. V for Vendetta. Okay? Check it out. V for Vendetta. Okay? Now, it's got some psychotic things and things like that. It's not for kids, right? But it's about what I'm talking about now, right? Here in America, we as patriots don't do what the enemy does. Like all the fires that they start, like the riots and burning businesses down, like in the summer of 2020 after Donald Trump was elected, or after the George Floyd stuff, they burned businesses and the politicians said, hey, give him space to do that. Let him destroy people's businesses. Let him destroy people's homes. Let him destroy their lives. See, patriots don't do that. Look back to the original revolutionaries. Do you think that the Minutemen burned down their own town? Their own homes, their own farms? No. If we see people burning down a car lot or burning down somebody's Quickie Mart or, Stripes, 7-Eleven, whatever, that's not a patriot. Now, what I foresee happening is they're going to have their little foot soldiers. They got a lot of gangs from Venezuela now, right? They got a lot of Antifa people. Who's to say they're not going to put on a Trump hat, man? Go burn stuff down like they did on January 6th. No doubt they're going to try that. But it's up to us to be able to communicate. We might be on different sides of issues. But if we listen to each other, we hear each other out, we communicate, okay? We find common ground. We don't talk about how different we are. This whole diversity thing is to divide us. What about commonality? What about things we can come together on? We have family. We love our family. We want to see them safe. Bam! Common denominators. These are things we can fight together for instead of fighting against each other. And again, these are the things that our enemies cannot have us agree on, because we're going to find out who they are sooner or later. And we're not going to follow their rules anymore. And then they're done. Their power is gone. That's why I'm doing what I do. Thank you for asking. I hope I answered your question.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So one of these days, how much longer is the semester?
Till December. So
Till December? Yeah. So there's more time. And
12th.
yeah.
That's the last day.
And you guys can go, this is the first podcast or radio broadcast that you guys have seen?
Well, for me, yeah.
Okay. How about you, Juan?
Yes, for me, but I have been doing some. Well, actually, only one for another teacher, Miss Dina Vera.
Okay. From
She,
UTRGV.
yes, for UTRGV for sure. It was a homework. Yes, and I really like the ending result that I did over there. Yes, I really like it.
Right.
It was about the importance of fitness, health, and dieting. Yes, how they're related.
Awesome. So here's what we see. A diversity of ideas, right? It's not the same thing of diversity in humans, meaning we are human. We have so many commonalities. To focus on our diversity, other than ideas, that's a whole different category. We are human beings. And if you took what I said earlier to heart, meaning there's really one race, we're humans. We're the human race. This is all we have. These are all we are, right? Sure, some of us are tall, some of us are short, some of us are dark, some of us are light, some of us are skinny, some of us are not so skinny. Didn't mean to look at you, Joe. Sorry. But we're human beings. We all bleed the same color, right? What is outside matters little. It's what is inside. Okay? So when we come together and we share these diverse ideas, we can find commonalities. But if we allow people to keep us separate, we'll never come together and we won't win.
I just realized where I got that from. It wasn't a show, it was a video game.
You play video games. I play video games too. I love them. What game?
Detroit Become Human.
What was it?
Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. Have you ever heard of Deus Ex? Humankind United, I think it is. I'm not sure, but that's the subtitle. But Deus Ex is very, very much. I've seen trailers for Detroit Become Human. Yeah, so I've seen trailers of that. It's like a cyberpunk kind of.
It's about like androids.
Androids, yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, video games. I mean, we might think in our culture that movies are cutting edge, and no, video games are where it's at. Some people just don't like to play video games, I know. But if you're looking for that cutting edge, the tip of the spear as far as philosophy in the modern age, it's video games, whether you like it or not. I don't know, but it's video games, not TV, not movies, and books, I'm sure. But who reads books anymore? I do. But anyway, I digress. I thank you very much, all of you, those of you here in studio, and those of you that are watching at home live, or a video, or Mike, you're on. All right, great. We had a lot of stuff to talk about, Mike. I don't know if you just came on or not, but I just saw the name pop up. There's something up with my display. I'm not able to see them all. I don't know, but thanks for showing up. And those of you who are watching and listening, because I know when I do podcasts or I listen to podcasts, I listen to them as I'm driving around. It's much easier that way. So if you have anything, please, if you have anything that you would like to challenge me on or add to, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, or comment on the video, and I follow up throughout the week on the video that we're making right now. Okay? So let me know what you think. Let me know where you digress from where I'm at, or maybe you're on the same, vector that I'm on, and you want to talk about it from that perspective. That's fine. I don't mind being challenged whatsoever, because as I said a little while ago, if I don't get challenged, then I don't have an opportunity to articulate what it is that I'm speaking to. So thank you very much. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to not give up an opportunity, as I'm still recording here, to let you know that God loves you, and he sent his one and only begotten son so that you can go to heaven. And he wants you to, and I want you to go to heaven. I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. May God be with you. May God be with your family. And if you hear and sense the Holy Spirit in your mind and in your heart, listen. He loves you. Thank you, and God bless you. Till next Thursday, the Bitcoin Otter is out.
This is the Bitcoin